Khubor ka Batisi TV. Lawan Rashapi da ka Frank Motors. The dark is here to rule.
As a parent, I know my child needs more space to play and to learn. A school which learns him better and teaches him better, where he finds live models for love, affection and dedication, where he can nurture his individuality and be a future leader. And here's where I stand. Blessings International School, Tirukazhukuntem, Chingalpet.
For admissions, contact 9688999811 8012553412 73730
Commentary bade pe yakatnak ka kya jong ko sarkar jilla ka Dr. Ampareen Lyngdoh kala ong ba ka Jingpang Khiehshohrih ha ka jilla Meghalaya kala hiar barkam da don than shu ka jingyap jong ki brio na ka ni ka Jingpang. Commentary kala penpau ya ka ni habakran kum ka kongsan ha ka jingra ki jong ka jilla ya ka World Malaria Day bala pelong hanong ba Shillong da ka office jong mission director National Health Mission ka sarkar jilla ha ka arpunya trik uya yong 8,000 arpulai. Kalai thuru ba ka Jingpang Khiehshohrih kumba kalong menta ka di ka Jingpang ka bala banyada namar ba ka Jingdu jong ki brio ya ka Jingem na ka ni ka Jingpang kalong tang kumba prangut bat na kalyang jong ka tanak ka koi ka khia ka kwa ben pendu no shisendan ya ka ni ka Jingpang. Ha ka ni ka sngila sa Lyngdoh Principal Secretary ka tanak ka koi ka khia Upi Sampat Kumar Mission Director jong ka National Health Mission Ram Kumar bat kiwei.
Thank you so much. Can you just give it someone? Yes.
Principal Secretary to Health and
Sir Ronald Rose, a British physician and scientist, made his historic discovery in Kolkata in 1897. He identified that the female Anopheles mosquito was responsible for transmitting malaria, which was a leading cause of death in India at that time. His discovery paved the way for significant advancements in the prevention and treatment of malaria. Sir Ronald Rose's discovery was a turning point in the fight against malaria. We celebrate World Malaria Day to raise awareness among the community towards malaria prevention, control, and ultimately to eliminate malaria. Meghalaya is one of the high malaria endemic states which has been successful in bringing down malaria burden by more than 96% in terms of morbidity and by more than 92% in terms of mortality in 2022 compared to 2015 baseline. So when we see the trend of malaria cases in Meghalaya as shown in the graph, we see that we have very significant reduction of malaria cases. Last year we had detected 465 numbers of malaria cases, out of which 60% were contributed from South Garo Hills, where we still have got few hotspots and some endemic places where malaria cases are still on the rise. So when we come to the mortality due to malaria, compared to last year, this 2021, in 2022, we had more than 100% increase in malarial deaths.
We are in agreement about one thing, that is, we have to get rid of malaria. And we have seen the wonderful efforts put in by the department to ensure that there has been this remarkable decrease of cases of malaria from 2015 till date. We saw a small number of 8 fatal deaths because of malaria, fatalities. So we must ensure that this occurrence of those 8 deaths doesn't increase, and I presume from the very detailed explanatory discussions that all of you have presented in this program today, it looks like you have everything under control, sir. So that's very, very important, and we appreciate it very highly. The one thing that would interest me as a leader and a representative of the people would be, how do you break that down to ensure that we, the lay people in the community, understand our role in combating malaria? Because I can see that if the public do not participate by addressing all of the vulnerable areas for the outbreak of a malaria threat, we would all have problems. Line departments like the PWD, the urban affairs, now even fishery is very popular. Many schemes are now being given. Stagnant ponds are being seen now everywhere. So, do we have the wherewithal to ensure that the entire convergence model that you have planned here will be a workable model? I particularly would believe that the malaria combat would be far more successful if public get to know. And you have correctly presented some very innovative ideas of how we can break this unknown facts of malaria through song. And those songs were very vividly presented to the public. And surely anyone who listens to those kinds of songs would be interested in asking, okay, so there is this malaria, what do we do to get ahead of it? What are the things that we're looking at? What if this malaria form keeps mutating itself and you keep having other forms of malarias, and you've just talked about drug resistance. So this is also very, very important for us to understand, because people don't like to take long-term medication. Do you think we could have a one pill kind of a magic pill kind of a situation? Because if you're asking people to have medicine continuously at a particular hour, a particular time, for 30 days, likely there's a high probability that there may be a challenge there. So some of the observations that I was making, despite the fact that I must congratulate the department and also the central organizations that are here, like the Regional Office of the Health and Family Welfare, excellent inputs, excellent observations. A lot of it was jargon to me, but surely amongst doctors you made a lot of sense. We did understand some of the things that you were saying, but if the Rangbashnongs and I have to go back to our localities, what should we look for? Because very high probability you're saying that this is not yet the season where it's going to increase. What did you call it? Transmission period. I presume that that was what you meant. We can see a lot of open drains. We can still see a lot of ponds everywhere. We can still see a lot of garbage everywhere. So how do we ensure that we do what we need to do at the right time? Make sure that we should not ever get back to 2015, because one slip in that protocol could just take us back and roll us back again to where we began. I want to ensure that we have medicines available at all tertiary care centers.